You're investing in business, you're investing in your children, you're investing in other things, but do something that you invest in yourself with, okay? That's so important. Like, you are important. You're more important than your business, okay? In order to be a good mom, in order to be a good dad, you have to be a good person in yourself, okay? You have to be the best you that you can be. So if getting a wax, if getting a massage is a part of you being the best you, then you go get that, okay? So that you can be the best business person. You could be the best mom. You could be the best dad. You could be the best at anything. You could be the best well-rounded person that you can be. Invest in yourself and what you want to do. You know, set some money aside for yourself also. So I just wanted to let you guys know that. I am a mental health counselor. I do a lot of crises management with people that may be going through things. You know, not only do I do weekly visitations, I do telehealth, which is video chat over the phone, and also, you know, in person seeing people. So pretty much with that, people can call me if I'm willing to provide services at that point in time. Then I provide services at that point in time. You know, there is boundaries with the work that I do, because it could be very draining listening to people talk about their problems sometimes. But what I try to do with my actual clients is create vision boards. I try to create treatment plans, and I do goal setting with them. So with that, you know, it's not always a sad, you know, talk about problems all day long. It's more so talk about, okay, what are we going to do to fix these problems? What are we going to do for a solution to this problem? Where do you want to see yourself in 5 days from now, in 5 weeks from now, in 5 months from now? You know, and that should be a more positive outlook on things for them. But in all, you know, people are going through crises right now, especially with COVID. There's addiction, there's, you know, mental illness. There's a lot of factors that I have to take into consideration when it comes to my clients. You know, I can't have the same relationship that I have with one client with another client. You know, there's different levels of the relationship. Sometimes I might be on 10, you know, and I'm like, hi, how are you? You know, but my client is on 1 and they're like, why are you so happy right now? So, you know, sometimes I have to bring myself down a little bit, you know, and say, hi, how are you? So sometimes, you know, that in itself can be a little bit draining. It's a lot to counseling, you know, because you really can't focus on your feelings. You can't focus on that. You have to focus on your client and what they're feeling. And even if, you know, they're not following the treatment plan, even if they don't have any goals, you know, it's not up to me to be upset with them. You know, if they're going through a bad day and they're screaming on the phone, or if they're, you know, hyped up about it, it's not for me to feel personally attacked, or, you know, it's not for me to get mad at them for not following the goal, you know, or the treatment plan that we set in place, you know, 6 weeks ago. That's not my place. You know, I'm not going to get mad. I'm simply here to support them. You know, I understand that there are going to be mistakes along the way. I've made many mistakes in my life, and I've made, you know, some of the same mistakes over and over again. So it's important to take these things into consideration and realize that they are human beings. You know, not everybody is going to think like you. Everybody has walked a different walk. Everybody has a different journey that they are on. So it's important to take that into consideration. And when I talk to people, I realize that I'm only visiting their journey. I'm not pulling them to go one way. You know, I'm simply making suggestions, and I'm simply visiting their journey. I'm seeing what they want to do, and I'm listening, and I'm telling them, you know, what may need to happen, but they don't have to follow that. So I help them, you know, make decisions. I help work it out with them. You know, if somebody absolutely, you know, wants me to take the reins on things and they have an open heart, then I absolutely do that for them to be benefited in the future, and I guide them to things that are beneficial to them. You know, I may refer services out to them. But the point of this video is that, you know, mental health counselors, therapist, they take care of other people, right? Okay, so I take care of other people, and sometimes, when I have 15 clients, 20 clients, 25, 30 clients in a month, I have to take time out for the one person that really needs it, which is me. I have to take care of me. Because when you have other people relying on you to help them through certain situations in their life, they might not be relying on you for their entire life, but it's just certain situations and things that they're going through that they rely on you to help them through it. So I have to rely on myself, and I have to take some time out for myself, and I also have to rely on other people who are professionals who can handle me. So even a therapist needs a therapist. Do I have a therapist? Absolutely. I have a therapist. I don't know what I would do. I don't know what I would do without my therapist, so I absolutely know how my clients feel. Because I rely on my therapist. I rely on our, every 2 weeks, I may talk to her, and I rely on that session for me to vent to her about what's going on in my life, and, to get her opinion on certain things that's happening in my life specifically. So, absolutely. In fact, before I even started doing mental health counseling, when I was going through my breakup and the abusive situation that I was in with a relationship for 6 years, and I got rid of that guy, thank God. But my therapist was actually the one to help me see the red flags and the signs in that relationship. And really, when I was with him, he pointed a gun at me before, and I had no fear at all at that time, or even talking about it. I remember telling my therapist, and she was just like, oh my goodness, no. And I was like, oh, no, he loves me, blah, blah, blah. Like, this is just his way of showing me that he loves me. This is his personality. You don't know him, so you wouldn't know. And she really helped me to be in a position now to where I'm like, man, if that ever happens to me again, I would fear for my life, because that's not okay. Like, I am so much more worthy than getting a gun pointed at me. Like, absolutely not. Like, you point a gun at somebody who is actively doing something horrendous in that time, But me, I know my heart. I know me personally. I did not deserve that, That's not something that I deserved. I actually am against guns. Like, I don't care about, other people can have guns and stuff, but personally, me, I don't support guns. For myself personally, that scares me. So, of course, I wouldn't want another person pointing one at me. All right. So, yeah, she was a big reason of why I wanted to get into counseling, because, wow, there's many more people, that were like me, naive, and just look at the demographics. Like, there's so many people who die from domestic abuse a year, not just women, but also men too. There's a high rate of women though. It's so sad, because they get in these situations, and sometimes they don't realize how dangerous the situation is until it's too late. So I wanted to do this, not just for domestic violence victims, but for people in general going through mental health crises in general, because I want to make sure people are, set up with the right medications. I want to make sure people are set up with the right support systems in place before it gets to a place that, is down the rabbit hole, or just, in a situation that's not good. So I want to catch people now, and I want to help them where they're at right now, even if it's so super bad, on the edge of the edge, I still want to be there to help them. So that's why I do what I do, because, my own situation, I was just like, wow, looking back at who I was and what I tolerated, and my mindset and all that stuff, I'm just like, whew, I need some direction a lot sooner. But you know, it's better late than never. All right, so yes, even therapists need therapists. You know, sometimes that can be the whole reason of why a therapist gets into their profession, because of an event or trauma or something that's happened to them in the past. All right, so self-care is needed 100%. So spiritual, I go to church personally. I also work at a church as a children's ministry director. So, oh, excuse me. So I have, you know, a lot of volunteers that I have to manage, and all the children that I have to manage to make sure that that program runs smoothly. So sometimes when I'm not in the back with the children and making sure everything is okay, you know, I'm sitting out in the church service listening to the pastor, and I'm getting, you know, spiritually fed. That's super important. It's also great that I work for a church also, because most of the meetings that I have, you know, are with include the pastor and stuff like that. So like I can get spiritually fed, you know, during the week, even if I'm not in church service. So that's great too. So also self-care with your body, you know, your health. So if you guys have followed my journey with SMAS, that's Wilkie's syndrome, where my intestines is being squeezed by my arteries. It was hard for me to gain weight, and a lot of times stress messes with you gaining weight. So stress was a big thing with me, especially, you know, trying to balance out my life as, you know, just starting mental health counseling and my own practice and writing my books and being a children's ministry director. You know, all of those things I had to balance out in order for me to be leveled out and no stress, you know, or minimum stress. I had to make sure, you know, I had breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and I was on a strict schedule with that. And now I am 140 pounds, whereas before I was 119 pounds, and I am 5'10". That's my height. So I'm, you know, getting back to eating and making sure that I'm not losing weight, but I'm continuously gaining weight or maintaining weight. So also, you know, sleeping well. You know, it's 5 a.m. right now, but I went to sleep at 8 p.m. So that is very good. You know, I like to wake up early, you know, before I have to drop my daughter off to school, before I have to go to work. I love to do that so that I have a couple hours to myself to do these videos, even whatever I want to do, you know, exercise, make my cup of tea, eat breakfast. You know, those things are very, very important. So then that brings me to self-care in the mind. So make sure you're not doing mindless activities or, you know, focusing on mindless things. And what that means to me personally is, you know, if I was to wake up, if I was to get on Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, all of those things, and just go scroll through the videos, just watching, you know, different funny videos. Oh my gosh, a cat slipping. Oh my gosh, you know, this kid saying something funny. Oh my goodness, this dancing dog. Like those, you know, yes, they're funny. They, you know, relieve stress, but they are, you know, not productive for me at all. So I want to listen to, you know, someone talking about business or listening to motivational speakers in the morning time when I wake up. So then I'm motivated all throughout the day. You know, on my lunch break, you know, I might call my sister or my dad, you know, call someone in my family so that I can talk to them, you know, about how's your day going, you know, making those connections with people. So yeah, make sure, you know, you're feeding your mind productive things, and make sure, you know, you have a support system and you keep them in mind, and you're doing activities to stretch your brain. So what that means is I'm looking at real estate. I've been looking at the business of real estate and financial freedom and stuff like that. So those are things that open my mind. Those are things that stretch my mind. Learning new things. So, you know, take a class if you're tired of taking classes like me. You know, just focus on something that you really, really love, that's educational and that can teach you something. and, you know, for you to be more productive and for you to be motivated and inspired throughout your day, your week, your month, you know, just keep that energy. So, you guys, look at your success, process, and stay blessed. And I will talk to you guys another day.